Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about what happened to Sinestro from Injustice. Although Sinestro does play a very small role in Injustice Gods Among Us, he played a massive part in year 2 of the comics, where he more or less was responsible for orchestrating a massive war. Now Sinestro used to be a Green Lantern member, but used his ring in a very oppressive way. He would more or less enslave the individuals on his home planet, so they worshipped him like a god. When he was captured and imprisoned back on Oa, he'd be approached by Parallax to become the first Yellow Lantern. So as you would expect, he would do this. Now Sinestro makes his first appearance at the beginning of year 2 of Injustice. After Batman was crippled and Clark firmly cemented his regime, the world was more or less in his grasp. And people did notice this when Gambit confronted Clark and they firmly disagreed on Clark's choices. Gambit warned him that if they keep doing this, then he'll bring down the full might of the Green Lantern Corps. Now word about this passed around quickly throughout the galaxy, eventually catching the ears of one Sinestro. So what does the leader of the Twisted Yellow Lantern Corps do? Well, first off, he kills Kal Rayner, to which he then travels down to Superman and offers the Lantern service. Initially, Clark does in fact not accept his help, but later down the line when he's overwhelmed by the Green Lantern Corps, the Yellow Lanterns come to his side and give him a hand. Now by doing this, Sinestro kind of worms his way into the regime, and over the next several months earns their trust. Now all of this would kind of climax at the end of year 2, where during the middle of the conflict between the Green Lantern Corps and the regime, Sinestro and his Yellow Lantern Corps proved to be a very powerful asset against them, having given the Yellow Ring of Power to Superman. This allowed the tide of war to in fact turn, resulting in the ultimate devastation of the Green Lantern Corps. But during this conflict, Sinestro himself wanted to take a few key players out. During the chaos of battle, Sinestro purposely killed John Stewart and then pinned the blame on Guy Gardner. You see, over the several months, Sinestro had earned Hal Jordan's trust, and as such told him about Guy Gardner turning on John Stewart, and in a fit of rage, he more or less was responsible for having Hal kill Guy. So although he himself didn't sully his hands too much, he was a key player in year 2, and even when Hal has his ring taken from him, it is in fact Sinestro who gives him a new ring of fear. Now from this point onwards, he does play a very minor role, only making very brief appearances here and there during massive conflicts that involve the regime, and killing off a few characters, such as Clarion and Kilowatt. But outside of that, he more or less just kind of slips into the ranks and becomes Superman's lackey. Now he does resurface in Injustice Gods Among Us, where he's still working with Superman and his regime and enforcing their very kind of oppressive laws. Now he first appears in the story mode when he meets up with Hal Jordan from the other universe. Now here we in fact learn why Sinestro stayed on Earth for so long. You see, much like his origins, he loved the absolute dominance and power he felt when he was ruling over weak people. It kind of goes to show the god complex that Sinestro has. So he's only really still here in order to feel that kind of level of benevolence and power. Now Sinestro is defeated by Green Lantern and is seen a little bit later on in the story mode where he's defeated by the Flash and later on by Superman. Now upon his defeat, the Clark from a different universe offers him the opportunity to somewhat redeem himself by removing his yellow ring. Now the Hal Jordan from the regime universe decides to stand down and remove his ring, to which Sinestro would also do the same. Now at the very end of the game, we actually see Sinestro and the regime Hal Jordan be taken to Oa to stand trial for their crimes against not only humanity but the rest of the universe. Now there is quite a time gap between Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, and from what we do learn is that the regime Hal Jordan has in fact during this time been trying to redeem himself, to earn himself the opportunity to obtain a green ring of power. Sinestro on the other hand wasn't as lucky, as we do kind of get a hint of what's happened to him in Green Lantern's arcade ladder ending. Due to his manipulative nature, instead of being given the same opportunity that Hal was, Sinestro was instantly cast away and imprisoned, and thus wasn't given the opportunity to in fact redeem himself. But Sinestro is a very resourceful man, and is in fact still capable of breaking free. So as you would expect, he does so. So Hal has to go undercover again as a Yellow Lantern in order to take him down. Of course, this is a arcade ladder ending, so the validity of this is flimsy at best, but with arcade ladder endings there are some stuff that has some validity, and I believe that Sinestro being imprisoned is probably the most accurate and valid point in this arcade ladder ending. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. I hope you've all enjoyed this, and it's given you a little bit more insight on Sinestro within this universe, as I did want to give you guys some backstory about him and how how it actually plays into his Injustice 2 counterpart. Now down in the comments below, please let me know who would you like to see me talk about next, as I do want to cover the rest of the Injustice Gods Among Us roster and let you guys know where some of the characters from the first game are. Now before this video wraps up guys, if possible let's try getting this video to about 500 likes. It's a great way of supporting this channel, as YouTube's ad system is broken as hell right now, so by giving it a thumbs up it helps out a ton. We also have a Patreon set up, so if you want to go the extra step and help out the channel more, link will be down for it in the description below. Anyway, as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care and I'll see you all next time.